Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco, Dish Out on the Movies. And this is part 2 of Marco's, his ideas about what 25 present day women, female movie stars, would go
Just
good.
women?
You already did the men yesterday, right?
I did men and women. I didn't say first, though, I want to work with this actor. I just did the pitches and then put
Okay, so it's
actors
25 men and women. He mix it. See, I'm separated.
It's 50 movies.
It's 50 total movies.
Yeah.
And these are ideas that he's pitching with me in them and what they would be like, etc. And today's my birthday, so he thinks he's really giving me the business.
Yeah.
Which is what he loves to do when it's my birthday. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, your phone's off. So, this is 50 movies.
Okay. Oh, wait, I didn't look at it.
Okay, you can look at it now.
Okay, ready? Go.
Please, Lynch, we want some more. Safi is sick and tired of waiting for Twin Peaks Season 4. So she contacts the spirits of all the actors who've passed away who worked on the show. The actors' doppelgangers come out from another dimension to make another season with Safi. And then they go around killing people. Safi has to figure out a way to put them back in their dimension and stop them from killing everyone, even though she wants more Twin Peaks. At the end, David Lynch comes to town and says, all right, I'll make a season 4, 5, and 6, and 7. Just leave us alone and stop the killing. This makes the doppelgangers happy enough to go back where they came from. So, and the actors would all be played by, like, lookalikes.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be like computer generated. No, it would just be like lookalike actors.
The sheriff guy died?
Yeah.
Oh.
Remember he died before El Camino came out and they dedicated it to him?
Oh.
And he was supposed to be more of a Better Cal Sal, but he died, so he couldn't.
That's right. He sold he did the vacuum cleaners.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. He's different, this character. So. Next, so I'm going to flip it over.
Scroll to the right. Okay, number 27, The Girl Lodger. Safi discovers the strange noises coming from upstairs are actually coming from Marco's room. It turns out he is keeping an escaped serial killer played by Jessica Lange in his room. She promised to give him the rights to her life story and also to make a movie also in exchange for him keeping her secretly hidden. What will Safi do? Bernie the cat ends up saving them by fighting off the killer single-paughtedly. And then at the end, the twist is he turns into a human-sized cat and goes after them. You like that, Safi?
This has to be a young...
No, Safi, that's recently.
Hmm.
Scroll to the right. Number 28, Harold and Kumar Go to Hell. Safi teams up with Harold and Kumar to go to hell and find the woman who made the best pork tenderloin sandwiches for her as a teenager. They come across many obstacles and strange monsters to get the pork tenderloin sandwiches. What do you think of that one, Safi?
Well, it doesn't look anything like her.
Really?
This woman is like a New Jersey woman who's like talks really loudly and. But I think she did smoke though. But she was quieter and she wasn't so bold looking.
Oh.
And I don't mean anything negative. It's just this is a small town person in the Midwest, and
did she give you pork tenderloins, Safi?
She was really good at making pork tenderloins, French fries, pork tenderloins, and cherry Coke.
Scroll to the right. Number 29, the real Uncharted movie. Safi travels to the Philippines with the voice actor from the Uncharted video games and Nathan Fillion, who's playing a character similar to one in the game.
God, this must be a really young version of him. I know who that is.
They go there to find the Carlson family's long-lost backyard treasure. They end up discovering an underground...
Sarmiento, actually.
They end up discovering an underground society of doppelgangers who use the treasure as an energy source. Can they get the treasure and make it out of the backyard? No, scroll to right. Number 30, The Road to Set. They are making a movie out of Safi's non-existent trip to Africa book.
That's not... book.
And she has to travel to Africa again.
Kilimanjaro.
She has to travel to Africa. She has to travel to Africa again with the film cast and crew. Before she knows it, she is lost with the actress playing her in the movie, played by Zendaya. They have to make it out safely and get back to set. You like that, Safi? I tokenized you.
Well, I was in that area.
Number 31, Perfectly Sane. A Mel Brooks style spoof on Psycho where Safi kills Marco and dresses up like him, complete with an artificial stomach, a fake beard, glasses, and other things, and runs the Rank Motel. She doesn't just kill people, she makes them review movies with her and rank them as a means of torture before killing them. She is eventually thwarted when Sean and Gus from Psych and Monk from Monk show up and take her down. You like that one, Safi?
What does Monk have in his hand? Is that one of those birds?
I think he's.
They've been showing tons of those on
I think he's
YouTube.
got. I think he's got like a middle finger in his hand, and he's giving it to you.
No, it looks like he's got something on his hand. Like
Speak up, Safi. They can't even hear
you. It looks like
you.
he has a bird on his hand. A cockatoo.
Well, scroll to the right. Nobody cares about birds.
I do.
Number 32. Doctor Strangelove 20,000, or How I Learned to Hate the Fallout Shelter. Safi and Marco get mistaken for two rich people on the brink of the nuclear apocalypse. They get taken into an underground fallout shelter 20,000 feet below the Earth's surface, along with every other evil rich person. Dr. Strangelove and Stanley Kubrick's cryogenically frozen person included. Stanley is played by Marco as well, is a tribute to Peter Sellers playing multiple characters in the original film. Dr. Strangelove has even become a transgender woman. Now she is played by Ivana Lynch. Safi and Marco have to get along with the rich people and survive before they discover who they are. You like that, Safi?
Is that Luna Lovegood?
I said Ivana
Oh, I
Lynch.
didn't know her name.
Luna Lovegood.
Luna Lovegood.
You're the one who brought her up, so I was like, oh, I'll use some of the actors Safi brought up.
Go ahead.
Number 33, I woke up in Plum Island. Safi wakes up inside a Plum Island laboratory to discover Marco has sold her to be experimented on by evil scientists. The head scientist is played by Sam Rockwell. Can she escape with the help of the other experiments there? Scroll to the right. Number 34. Guess who's coming to Warcraft? Or WoW. World of Warcraft. Marco discovers a way to get a female video game character out of World of Warcraft to marry, played by Anya Taylor-Joy. Safi has to get to know her and like her even though she's a dark elf. But then a bigger problem occurs. A gang of orcs kidnap Jimmy's daughter, who also, they came over too to celebrate the upcoming wedding. And they take his daughter to their dungeon so that they can cannibalize her. Can Safi team up with him and her and his brother and her family to save her inside the video game world? You like that, Safi? What?
Okay.
What?
I don't like anybody
What?
touching Jaina.
Safi, speak up.
I don't like that.
But Safi, it's a movie.
I don't like that.
Safi, speak up.
I don't like that.
What do you not like?
I don't like anything involving my granddaughter.
So what? It's a movie. What else is going to happen? You just get to know each other? That's boring.
What's her name is really getting skinny.
I know.
I mean, when you get your picture taken, that makes you a little heavier looking. It adds weight.
Well, Safi, I will...
She doesn't have any weight.
Safi, I can give her a Lunchable, and she can gain something.
Not much.
So scroll to the right. Number 35, Bad Hair Monster. When Safi gets all her hair back, it comes off again and forms its own personality. It becomes a serial killer and runs loose in the city of Beaver Creek, killing people, which really isn't that much of a loss.
Suffocates.
Safi teams up with a barber played by Tommy Wiseau to track down her hair and save her embarrassment. Scroll to the right.
That's a good one.
Number 36, Blood Takes Longer to Dry. Safi teaches an all-female painting class. A mysterious killer played by David Thewlis, the guy who played Lupin in Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
Or Fargo Season 3, bad guy.
I recognize him.
He starts coming out from the paintings and killing her students. She travels inside one of the paintings to go after him. This is when she brings in Marco, who is just a random guy, as a substitute teacher for her class. And we learn that the real reason the killer is coming out is because Marco summoned the killer so he could continue his inappropriate relationship with a student that he started a year ago as a substitute teacher, played by Lily Collins. You like that, Safi?
Bad.
It's a character, Safi.
I don't care.
Scroll to the right. Number 37, Cult Busters. Ruth from Ozark leads a cult. It's a southern cult with southern people, and they eat lots of pulled pork sandwiches.
With cabbage on top. That's the southern thing to do.
Marco joins it and becomes her right-hand man. Safi teams up with Joan Cusack to get him out of it. She is the leader of a group called Cult Busters. So I didn't really think much of that one. I just thought it would be funny to see Ruth from Ozark being a cult leader.
She'd be great as a cult leader.
Because she kind of looks like one. And scroll to the right. Okay. Number 38, I'll take those guys to go. Safi is meeting with Marco and Rashida Jones, his wife, to have lunch at the only Chinese restaurant in Lexington, Missouri. She is delighted to see David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson are on a trip there. For some reason, they go to Lexington, Missouri.
There was a Chinese restaurant there, I think. I don't think it's still there, though.
And they go have lunch. Well, this is why it isn't there anymore. But then they disappear, and Safi can't even get into the restaurant. The owners and waiters are very mean and creepy, like in the certain restaurant. Safi, remember?
Yeah.
This is all based on a real restaurant experience we had.
Yeah.
A place
and it
in...
was stupid, and it was unbelievable. They have so much competition.
Yeah.
I don't know why they would be acting like that.
It was in Chinatown, San Francisco, and there were some nasty people. There is obviously something very scary going on in this Chinese restaurant.
It was like the Twilight Zone.
It was. Safi will stop at nothing to get some Chinese food and find out what happened to the two celebrities, her son and his wife. Will Safi solve this X-file? What is really going on in the Chinese restaurant?
And that's a shame, because the food's good.
Yeah, the food tasted good, but it was so weird.
It was weird, and I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And we were. If they had this, it's so funny because we have the same thing here. At lunchtime, they don't, or not lunchtime, after lunch, and before dinner time, they don't like anybody to come in. And it was a little bit late, but they have a ton of competition. This Chinatown, this Chinese restaurants everywhere. And I would think they want the business. And it's like this here too. You can't go in after lunch and before dinner. They get mad. They give you bad stares, and they don't want anybody to come in because that's when they eat their lunch. And I'm like, well, then close, all right? If you don't want anybody. And so it's funny, San Francisco is a long way away from here, but it's the same here as there. And the food was good, but we were very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a fun experience. It was a bizarre experience.
It was so bad that, like, you know, I had already come up with this idea and talked about it with Safi, where I said it'd be really funny if somebody really was hungry for Chinese food and that they were like trying to get it from this place and they wouldn't let them and they're really mean and evil. But like I felt like this was a better idea the way it was told. And you know what? Just talk about the things that they did at this restaurant. Like, what were they doing to make it so uncomfortable? Because I don't know. They were doing the dishes or something, and then one of their own came in, which was really odd, and they were shitty to them too. And I'm like, what the heck? I mean, I could see them, you know, being nicer to one of their own because, you know, it's one of their friends, I guess. And they were shitty to them too. They were like regulars or something. I don't know. Like they were coming in for lunch and did not want to serve people at around this certain time. Well, they were just acting terrible in general. Like, you know, they didn't even bring out any rice for us, so we had to ask for that after. And they were almost shocked because one of them was shocked that they didn't bring the rice out. Yeah. And so they were shocked at each other. It was really bizarre. And, like, one of them, he was standing, like, I don't think Safi saw it or what, but one of the waiters, the jackassiest one, he was, like, standing in the background with his arms crossed with, like, a mean face. Like, it was so weird. Like, we better hurry up because, oh, boy, we were taking their time, although we were paying to eat there. And they got so mad when I wouldn't eat the live crab. There was this one crab that they had, and I was thinking, you know, I either want to get orange chicken or I want to get the live crab. And I looked and I said, I'll just get orange chicken. And they were so, like, mad. Like, why won't I get the... Yeah. And it was so embarrassingly bad the way they acted. Mad. Yeah. San Francisco is one of the coolest cities. It's expensive, but it's cool. And we had gone to this tea shop. We had a really good time. We'd never been to anything like that before. There's nothing like that around here, that's for sure. That was really scary because I had to sit next to a Russian couple. Well, anyway, it was San Francisco and they were actually that day too. They really intimidated me. They were having a parade for their basketball team, which does really well because of their star player. And, you know, we've done a few other things. And so, you know, I love San Francisco. We were just visiting, too. We weren't even staying there overnight, which would have been a lot more fun. We would have got a lot better food, which is funny that we're talking about the Chinese restaurant like we are. But the food was good. Yeah, it was really good, but, like, the service was so terrible that, like, I'd never go there again. No, I wouldn't either. Go, you know what, themselves. Like, I had to go to the bathroom, and I got up and went down there, and it was really creepy, too, the way that it was set up, because they had, like, this whole area, like, beyond, like, more of the restaurant and back, and it was, like, covered up by, like, a wall and a window, and I just felt like, you know, ooh, maybe there's something going on back there. And then you went downstairs and you could see into the kitchen, and it was a really creepy, like, downstairs. You have to go down these stairs like it's a basement. And I tried to get into the men's restroom, and like somebody was like holding the door shut or something. And it was really weird, like, what are they doing in there?
Yeah, and just like,
and so
there's so many other places to eat, so
I had to
use there again, we'll go to another Chinese restaurant.
I had to use the women's restroom. Somebody else had to use the disabled person's restroom because somebody was like inside the men's restroom holding the door shut so the people couldn't get in.
That's weird.
Really weird.
Okay, better move along. I'm going to the next one.
Number 39, An Unforgivable Deal. Safi with her daughter, played by Jessie Buckley, open up a bakery in an old deli building. She finds out one night the old owner used to make payments to the mafia. He was in debt $50,000. Since he ran out of town, Safi and her daughter are forced to pay off this debt in one night and travel across town to the crime family's hideout to give it to them. In a warrior-style adventure, her and her daughter meet a lot of weird people and do schemes and scams to get the money as they're on the way to the location. Will they make it there? Will they get the money? Plot twist. They are not able to reach the amount of money, so Safi sells her daughter to the mafia boss instead.
Weird.
Scroll to the right.
I don't even have a daughter.
This is Jessie Buckley. Give me that.
Weird. No, it's empty.
What are you doing?
Is this it?
Hey, give me that.
It was blank.
Hey. What's that? Oh. Yeah, it's right there. And then I would be playing the mafia boss. Okay, so number 40, no, that is not spaghetti. Safi is dying from anorexia. The only way she can cure herself is by going back in time to teach her mom, played by Jodie Foster, how to cook for herself as a teenager. What do you think of that one, Safi?
Weird.
And, well, it is, of course, to reference that your mom didn't know how to cook, basically, and she thought that spaghetti was noodles, green pepper, and beef.
No, she didn't know
or
how
something.
to cook things that weren't like the straight and narrow roast beef, and
Boring.
I don't even remember her cooking chicken at all. And it's funny because her mother was a cook in a cafe, and she did everything. I mean, I think they owned the cafe, or they were the manager, she and her second husband. And anyway, she was, I guess, a really good cook. And my mom, I don't know, she was really good, like, because I'm from Kansas City, so Kansas City's a real big barbecue town, so she would make brisket a lot. You can't even hardly get brisket here in this area, hardly ever. And she cooked some big Sunday dinner every week, but as far as like the in-between, like making, we had some kind of weird thing called chip beef.
Ew.
That was like the food of the day, and with you have a piece of bread and gravy and like and meat, and then she made this thing, she called it spaghetti. It was it was so gross. When we have it, I would eat like one bite. I wouldn't even eat for the night. And I was really skinny when I was a kid.
Yeah, see?
And it
so
was
this
a
be
green
interesting.
pepper. For some reason, I mean, we didn't really even eat green pepper.
Green pepper.
She made cut green peppers and tomatoes, and then you had the spaghetti noodles. And I don't even know if there was any like ground beef.
Ew.
It was gross. I mean, that's not even spaghetti.
No.
I mean, there's no. What happened?
So see, that's why I called it that.
Her father was Filipino, and he would not allow them to have any kind of, quote, foreign food in the house to cook. So, like, he didn't teach them any Filipino cooking or anybody else's ethnic group cooking. It's like Italian food. So whatever. So she didn't know how to.
That's his malfunction. Okay,
Oh, okay, wait.
scroll to the right.
Just a minute.
God,
Where is
Safi, you're cheating. Give me the
I
phone.
can't see it anyway.
Give me the phone. You like that pitch though, Safi? Wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah.
Here,
Okay, we gotta hurry up. My phone is probably.
scroll to the right.
Okay.
Number 41, getting back in the groove. Safi goes to the gym all by herself late in the day after being chastised by Marco for not doing it for years. She panics when she is left alone after hours with the creepy old guy, Paul Rudd in old person makeup, who talked to her a lot. Will she survive and escape the rec center? You like that one, Safi? Remember the old guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't leave me alone.
He just kept on coming up to us, and it was like, ugh. Number 42, no cat left behind. Safi develops an invention that turns her into a cat. She then goes back to her old house to find and rescue the stray cats that she left behind. The main kitty is played by Bing Bing Fan. Scroll to the right. 43. It was 50 years ago. Safi is shocked when her old college roommate, Elizabeth Ball, shows up and doesn't have anywhere else to go.
She didn't dress like that.
The Liz is played by Mia Goth. She is still as creepy and scary as she was years ago. What will happen to them now that the Liz is back in town?
She's dead.
Not in this movie. Number 44, no politics. Safi is locked up in a room with a Lex Luthor-like politician she hates more than life itself, played by Bryan Cranston. She will win $1 million if she does not talk politics for him for an evening.
Well, that wouldn't be too hard to do for me.
Inspired by The Twilight Zone episode Silence. Scroll to the right. Number 45. We will make you super. After making the top 50 actors Marco should work with video, he is contacted by two of the actors, Henry Cavill and Elizabeth Olsen, in the video. They work on making a superhero movie together, but Safi quickly discovers they are a part of a vast conspiracy of aliens who have taken over the actors' bodies. Can Safi stop Marco from becoming an alien too? Scroll to the right. Number 46, Stalking Laura 2. Marco falls for a girl played by Brooke Nevin, who we talked about from Goosebumps. I thought it would be
a million other things.
I thought it would be funny to put her in one. And so I went back and changed it. That was originally Anya Taylor-Joy's movie, and then I switched her out.
Well, who's this other guy then?
Well, I'll explain. And isn't sure if she likes him. His mom is worried about the situation, especially when she finds out he's writing to the Richard Thomas character from the first movie in prison. Marco becomes best friends with that guy in order to figure out how to attract the girl. Safi tries everything she can to stop them from talking. Eventually, he uses surprisingly normal people tactics recommended by a reformed Richard Thomas. They work greatly. The problem is, the girl is even crazier than Richard Thomas ever was in the first movie. She's an insane psycho stalker killer. Can Safi save her son? You like that one, Safi? That one's my favorite, because it's a sequel to Stalking Laura. Remember that movie, Safi?
Oh, yeah.
I'll take a number. So you didn't even realize that, Safi?
No.
Why? Number 47, the Irish side of the family. Safi and Marco are contacted by a relative in England, played by Brendan Fraser doing an Irish accent. They go there to a castle in the middle of nowhere where the relative is actually a vampire, and him and his vampire friends want to kill them. Safi gets killed, and Marco teams up with Saoirse Ronan to kill the vampires.
Cersei.
You like that one?
Well, it's funny because that's my granddaughter wants to see a castle, so that's part of the reason why they're going to Ireland.
Well, Safi, it was a spin-off of your stupid old people movie pitch where you said that I went to Ireland to find genealogy and I found Cersei instead. Like that it was a spin-off on that. Okay, scroll to the right. Number 48, Ghost 2, Swayze and Safi. Safi gets killed and has to solve her own death with the help of Patrick Swayze's ghost, played by Chris Mulkey from Twin Peaks. Scroll to the right. You need to start laughing instead of coughing, Safi.
I can't help it.
This is a shame. What a terrible performance you're putting on your birthday.
Come on, Marco.
No. We have to go through them. Number 49, the first movie on Mars. Safi plays a safety instructor on Mars and has to make sure the first movie to be shot on Mars goes well, or else no movie will ever be made on Mars again. Her biggest problem is working with Tom Cruise, who is full of himself.
Yeah.
Scroll to the right. Nothing But Beaver Creek Bitches, number 50. Nothing but trouble style movie, with Safi as a mother who has to find a wife for her son in 24 hours because she will die, and she needs to find him one so that the family bloodline and money can keep going. She gathers all the weird townswomen from the small Beaver Creek nearby, as well as a travel reviewer played by Christina Ricci. Who will he choose, and who will she choose? Will anyone be enough? Will any of them survive Marco's ranking?
Nah.
Only Safi can make sure. What do you think of that one, Safi?
That's a good one.
I know. That was... Well, what I did was...
Is that the last one?
Yeah.
Oh.
And what I did was I came up with a list, and then I reversed the list. So, this was actually the first idea I came up with. And then the last one was the first one yesterday was the last one.
Oh.
So, because I thought maybe some of them near the end felt a little, I don't know. So, Safi, what was your favorite pitch?
Well, I'd say
Today.
it had to be either this one or that one way near the beginning.
Nothing
with
But
the
Beaver
Twin
Creek.
Peaks.
Nothing But Beaver Creek Bitches.
Twin Peaks and Beaver Creek Bitches.
Do you like that one, Safi?
Yeah.
What's your favorite poster?
Oh, boy. Let's see. I don't like that one.
Why?
I like the castle one.
The castle one's cool.
Yeah.
I was trying
And
to
Kitty.
play around with the colors because I didn't want them to all just look like Photoshop magazine pictures, so...
This is really good. It's very artistic.
Which one?
That's like the channels that guy who did painted tomato cans.
I didn't put all those cans
I
there.
know you didn't.
I'd say my favorite
I
picture...
like that one too.
I like the Stalking Laura, too,
And then this one is funny.
movie.
It's just funny.
What? Oh.
The people from Ozark.
Well, see, I made it look like Ozark 2 with the blue filter.
And this is funny. Bad hair monster. That's hilarious.
That was a little difficult.
Yeah. That Beaver Creek one is the best.
Beaver Creek Bitches. Or how about this? Because which one is your favorite is really kind of like a subjective question. Which one, if all of these movies were made, which one of them would you want to be made?
I don't know. Maybe the Africa one.
Really?
Yeah,
You want
I've
to
thought about that before.
You would
actually.
want to see Zendaya playing you. That's the whole point. Is it's a joke.
I don't know how but see, I'm short and she's tall, so I don't know how that would work. But the Chinese food one would be good because it'd be.
I
I
know.
would love for people to see what we saw and experienced.
Yeah, we won't even mention the restaurant, but
But the food was good.
we gave them a review because we, you know,
Well, that's inexcusable. It's San Francisco, and it's not
Yeah.
like that's the only Chinese restaurant in town. They were lucky that they had people coming in there. I mean, it's just stupid to have that much competition to turn off the people who are coming in to pay money to patronize your restaurant. Why would you do that? Why would you turn off alienate your customer base? It's just stupid. And plus the fact we would recommend it to other people to go to. Why would we do that?
well, the weird thing was that, like, I think they even were advertising that there was, like, a lunch discount or something. Like, there's something special about you go there for lunch and you get this and that.
Maybe.
And it's like...
Probably. That's to compete.
It's like, oh, who cares?
Who
We're
cares?
just gonna treat you like trash.
I mean, who wants to go to the Twilight Zone for lunch?
Well, in a movie, it'd be fine because it's a movie.
We had to walk to go catch our train back, and then we had to walk to catch the cab to the hotel.
And I was already suffering from food poisoning too from the previous day eating Subway.
Well, I had a problem too, and that's because
Yeah.
somebody made me have
That
coconut
was the
water.
next. That was after that though.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I was dealing with that while in the Chinese restaurant.
Oh God.
So
It's
it's weird. Like you're still like talking and the video is still going, so I'm following you with
Turn it off.
them because you didn't say goodbye.
Oh, goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.